Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Charles Turner. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness, out of the blueness, reactions, commenters, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. This is one of those films that this is not my cup of tea when it comes to movies. It really isn't. It's based on a true story. It's an account of this woman and her kids. Pretty much this aunt within the story. This aunt, a girl and her sister. Her sister is a little bit disabled. Their parents die. They have to move in with the aunt. The aunt has kids of her own. And the aunt is a sadistic, evil bitch. And her kids torture these other two girls. It takes place in the 1950s. And pretty much the aunt treats the two sisters like shit. Saying that girls are dumb and girls are easy. And it's doing what it's supposed to do. To be disturbing, to creep you out, and to make you feel bad. And it did its job, and it did the job it was supposed to do, because the acting wasn't bad. The lady who played the aunt is an evil bitch. You just hated this character. And she did a good job. She did a rather good job make you feel just the evil oozing out of her without it being, I thought, ridiculous. And it has this thing at the very beginning and very end that I don't know if you needed. I feel you really didn't need this prologue and epilogue where it's William Atherton Peck from the original Ghostbusters. And he was in Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Biodome. I'm like, Walter Peck from Ghostbusters in this? Where there's a hit and run, he resuscitates the guy, and then he's drinking and he's telling the story. And then the movie bookends with him pontificating about, it's what you do last that counts. I'm like, is this trying to be here? Maybe give like a bit of hope or a bit of something else to the end? I don't know how successful that is. It's almost like we're doing this because Stand By Me did it. But I don't know. But yeah, it's the 1950s. There's a different time period with how families were. And like I said, this neighbor boy likes this girl. Her name is Meg. And her parents have died. Like, she has a little sister. And the neighbor boy gets to know her. And she tells him that her aunt is so evil. And he's like, no, there's no way she's like that. But of course, then things go haywire rather quickly. Where the aunt tells May that her paintings suck, and if you do this, I'm going to spank your sister. And then that goes into the other kids treating her like shit, and it culminates into her being tied up in the basement, getting raped, tortured, burned with cigarettes, while the aunt watches smoking, letting her kids do this. The neighbor boy, he talks to his dad, and his dad's like, well, you should never hit a woman, but sometimes there's nothing else you can do. Sometimes you just gotta mind your own business. And this whole time, I'm just telling the kid, tell your fucking parents the fucking truth. And the thing is that it's hard for me to go, well, this is unrealistic. If it's based on a true story, And if that's the case, then you're not mad at the movie. You're mad at how fucking stupid people were in real life to not notice this, or So again, it's not me mad at the movie. It's mad at it. Just it's telling it. What part of it is true, what part of it is not. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wouldn't want to be there. You can't. It's hard to get mad at a film that's uncomfortable because that's its purpose. I can at least say I did the acting is good. But again, like I said, this just isn't my kind of movie. This just isn't my kind of film. The torture stuff. That's not why I watch movies. That's not the kind of movies I'm into. That's not the kind of movies I like to watch. And I know it's based on the Jack Ketchum novel. I mean, the aunt burns the girl maid's clit with a blowtorch. That right there kind of tells you. I know you don't see it up close, like you get the idea of it, of course. But still, I'm sitting there going, again, it's hard to get mad at a movie in the fact of, it just, films like that, and a Serbian film, and Martyrs, those are not my kind of movies. A Serbian film I think is a piece of fucking utter shit, because that to me is shock value. This, at least, if it's based on a true story, is trying to tell the horrific events of a true story to let people know this is the kind of stuff that happened even back then. If that's what the makers were going for, I can't really get mad at them for that. Again, it's just, I'd rather just read the article, which would take me 2 minutes, and be done with it. Not watch a movie about it. But at the same time, I get what they're doing. It just, I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know how else to describe it. Again, you get mad at a movie, uncomfortable, that makes you uncomfortable. I know how that sounds. So that's what I mean. I get what it's doing. It's just, I guess if people want to see a movie that's disturbing, that makes you uncomfortable, go for it. It just, like I said, just not for me. Spoilers. The boy finally gets some fucking balls, tries to help her out. He gets tied up. He gets out of it. By this point, the fucking maid's clit's been burned with a blowtorch. He starts a fire so that the ant comes down. He hits the ant with a crutch, one of the crutches, which wasn't that satisfying movie-wise because it seemed like the sound effects was off when he hits her. The sound effects just didn't sound right to me. And yes, it's that theme where you make this type of story. How much do you embellish? How much do you not? And I'm like, this woman should have fucking had a comeuppance where her fucking brains are all that's left on the fucking floor. Like, just keep hidden till there's no face anymore. Just fucking brains and pus and blood. But no, it's just like 1 or 2 hits. Little marked here. I'm like, that's it? That's it? That's lame. And the kids come down fighting him. The cops finally come down. And I don't understand. There's a girl beaten up, tortured, burned with cigarettes. The cop comes down, gets the other kids, but then tells the boy, you stay with her. You stay here with her. And I'm like, you're not even going to check her pulse. You're not going to check her body. Nothing. You just tell the boy, you stay here with her. I'll be right back. To what? Get a fucking donut? Check her vitals, something? Fuck. This podunk hit fuck town. Fuck with this town. South Park is more a fucking legitimate fucking town. So of course the boy sits with her and she dies of her wounds, but she thanks him because he did help save her sister. He at least did try to help. And that's why as an adult, with William Atherton, he has problems with marriage because of all this baggage from back then. And that gets to the line at the end, it's what you do last that counts. But with William Atherton telling the story, it's not like, okay, I told the story, now I'm going to do better with my life, or I'm going to fix my life around, or I'm going to go into therapy or something. It just seems like he's in the same fucking bit of business. At least Stand By Me, it was telling a story of adventure, and then the reveal was that he has his own kids and his own family and doing a job he likes. Or, what was another movie that did that? I had to think about it for a minute. Here, it's like the guy at the beginning and end is the same, so that's what made me go, what's the point of this whole William Atherton wraparound? It just seemed out of place. And like I said, it's just, I don't go for these movies. It's hard to call it torture porn because it's based on something that really happened. It's just one of those films that I suck at reviewing. I'll admit, I suck at reviewing because I don't know what to say. This is my cup of tea. It's one thing, it's fantasy slasher film where it's quick and fast and you're just marveling the makeup effects, the gore, and this isn't that type of movie. It's not supposed to be that type of movie, and again, it's not something I really care to see. Well, I definitely won't see again. But I guess, hey, if you read the Jack Ketchum novel and the story interests you for whatever reason, go for it. It's just not my cup of tea. So, I get what they were doing. You know, this is a horrific story. So they want it told so more people know about it so that this stuff hopefully never happens again. I guess the motivation of the aunt, I guess you would gather it was because she was married and maybe the guy left her and left her with these kids. So maybe she's angry at the world, but for some reason she takes it out on these two and didn't take it out on her own kids. So still the rationale as to why the aunt did this, not 100% in understanding, but I really don't care to be honest. So yeah, I know it's not much of a review. I don't know how else to review it. So it's one big bummer. And it's supposed to be one big bummer, but again, that's not really. Even a film like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, that's more of like me enjoying the acting of. How did I forget his damn name now? How the hell did I forget his fucking name? That's how this movie fucked me up. I cannot remember his name. Oh god, I'm so mad at myself. Now I'm gonna sit here and try to keep thinking of it. I cannot remember. I cannot remember his fucking name. I'm just gonna look it up because don't be pissed off. I know it has nothing to do with the movie. That's why I get when I do reviews. I cannot remember fucking names off the top of my head. I keep wanting to say Mickey Rourke. It's not Mickey Rourke. Can you imagine that? Mickey Rourke is Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer? That'd be a different movie. But, what is the... Can you get on website Michael Rooker? I don't know why, what fucking brain fart on that. There you go. So it is what it is. Like Michael Rooker at least I'm enjoying his performance and the musical score, some of the directing touches, and plus the fact, you're dealing with kids who are like, I don't know, 13 years old, and they're going through that. Makes things even much worse. It just got me mad at the neighbor kid. Like, just fucking tell your parents, fucking tell something. Grab a fucking shotgun, go in and go with some Death Wish on it. That's also the thing, but I'm a different rationale. I'm like, grab a fucking gun, grab a sledgehammer, make the fucking flamethrower, go in, torch the place, and annihilate some motherfuckers. But yeah, so I was getting pissed off at the lead kid. Stop being a fucking pussy, do something. So I know, just how my fucking mind. I get it, he's a little kid, this and that. It's the 1950s, and he's just not sure what to do. I get it, that's just being honest. With that said, thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.